Well, your father scared me a lot during Halloween with all the scary movies we watch. Freddy Krueger, one called Chucky. Probably I don't know the names, but he always scared me. He always brought these movies home and we watched them as a family, which I didn't know if that was really good or not, but we did. And then after the movie was off, we watched him in our family room in the basement, and then I'd come upstairs to the kitchen, but unbeknownst to me, he would come up the back steps and get behind me right in the kitchen, and when I turned around, it would scare me to death. And he laughed, and I always told him, you have a warped sense of humor. That's not even funny. But he did it anyway, but we had fun. And today I'd give anything if he was here to scare me to death. Well, when your dad and I were dating, the only thing I can think of is we went to the church. They always had a Halloween party for the youth, and the youth group director, the youth group leader would dress up like Dracula, and they'd have a coffin in the church, not in the sanctuary, in the place where we had our party, and he would get in there, and we would fall for this every year, and then all of a sudden he would jump out and scare everybody, and I used to think that was too scary for the church to be in the church, but you know, they did that, so that was fun. But we drank apple cider and ate or hot chocolate and popcorn, and we always had a lot of good candy. We went on hay rides too, a lot of hay rides during the fall season around Halloween. So that was fun times back in those days. Your father and I never went to a haunted house. I didn't, he did. I would not go. Those places scared me to death. And when we got married and started having children, he took, I don't know if he took you boys to, do you remember any of that? But he took Sherry but she loved it. It didn't scare her. He raised her not to be afraid of anything, I guess. But no, I never did, and I never will. Those kind of places scare me. We never went trick-or-treating together at all. He would come to my house and help me pass out candy. But no, we never went trick-or-treating together. We always had lots of candy. He would bring lots of candy. My favorite Halloween movie? I do not have one. I didn't like any of them. I thought they were too scary. I just don't care. I like Halloween in the sense, I like the fall in the sense that there's pumpkins. Your dad used to put decorative garbage bags out there full of leaves. He'd rake the leaves and put them in the decorative bags and put them in the front yard, and that was so pretty. And he'd buy pumpkins and light them, and I thought that was neat. He was so into Halloween, your dad was. He would buy the scariest mask, and when the little kids would come to our house, he'd jump out behind a bush and scare them. But they all thought that was fun, and he did too. But he'd sit out on the front, our front porchway with a scary mask on and just sit there and pass out Halloween candy. Me, I didn't get into it that much. Well, I do have Halloween memories that stand out, but there again, it involved your dad. If Sherry had Jackie over for spending the night, he would go knock on the basement window and scare them to death. I think what stood out for me is how he got into Halloween so much with his scary mask, and he would be sitting out there with all the little ones coming. That he just enjoyed it so, and I enjoyed watching him probably more than the little kids that came, because he just would laugh and make his spooky sounds, and So that's about the only thing that stands out for Halloween. Oh, an update on my diet? Well, it's going wonderful. I'm just eating less and trying to cut out all the sugar and carbs and bread. And I'm not doing keto. If I want something, I will eat it, but I'm just cutting back. And I have lost at least, I believe, 8 pounds. So that's good.